Hello, hello. Can you guys see me okay? Hello. Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can see me okay. I will still be coughing from time to time. I do apologize for that. Whooping cough kind of lasts and lasts for quite a while. Hi guys, let me know if you can see me okay. Hopefully the internet holds. It's kind of really wonky today. I am feeling much better, thank you. I'm not 100% though, so I was trying to channel today for my Patreon post, and I only got a little bit done, and I was like, ew. I was completely exhausted. So everything is going at a very slow pace right now when it comes to the intense direct channeling. Intuitively, it works, but the kind of higher vibrational channeling is still very charging for me. Love from Denver, Colorado. You know, I used to live in Colorado, but I used to live, at first I lived in Estes Park, and then I lived there for about 2.5 years, I think, and then we lived in Colorado Springs for a couple of years. I miss Colorado. I'm feeling a little bit better. I could talk. My voice is back. I'm not 100%. Sometimes my voice still does weird stuff. Been about 2 months now that I've been sick. I still cough from time to time. Hey guys. So for everybody who's still waiting to get rescheduled, because I had to postpone about 55 readings. And my schedule was already booked since last year. Just all I can do, I'm holding my little thingy. All I can do is ask for your patience. If people cancel or people don't make a payment in time, I will try and fit you guys in. I already work 6 days a week in my working schedule. I'm still recuperating right now. This is my summer vacation normally, but I'm still trying to use that to recuperate, to get fully back to my 100% self. If not, then I will fit you guys in the month of December, which I normally take off to spend time with family. But I will try and fit you guys in there. If nothing opens up, that's kind of the annoying part when you're already planning so many readings and sessions, and it's all booked up, and it's really hard to, when you get sick like that, it's really hard to catch up and immediately find a space for these people. So all I can do is count on your patience, and just trust in the divine timing of things. That's all I can tell. I just real quick before we start, I also want to remind you that we're having a live event on September 7th. I think you can order your tickets for another 2 weeks. I think that's the deadline. I'd have to check, but I think that's what it is, about another 2 weeks or so. So if you want to come, make sure you get your tickets on time. It's going to be a fun gang. Right now we have people from all over the world, including, we have a bunch of people from Georgia for some reason. Georgia, Atlanta, there's California, people coming from California. There's people coming from Australia, all over Europe. So it's really going to be a very international event where we're just going to have fun and make new friends. And, you know, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. So if you want your your ticket. Don't be afraid to get it as soon as possible. If you want to come and join us for an all-day event. And then hopefully the weather is nice so we can spend the evening at my home in our garden, roasting marshmallows and watching the alien ships come by. So if you ever wanted to visit, if visiting France is on your bucket list, maybe this is the time to come and visit. Because I won't be doing events every year. At the moment, I won't be traveling. It doesn't feel, I don't have a travel passport anyway right now. I still got to apply for one. But I'm not really, I don't know. There's something about flying right now that seems to be, my gut feeling is going, don't. So just know that these events are rare. Anyway, let's get started. So what we're doing today is angel cards, where I channel intuitively. It's not channeling at the level that I do when I do private sessions. This is really on an intuitive level, very on an Emma level is what I call it, where I don't go into a meditative state and I don't get into that high vibrational frequency, but my intuition is always connected. It's always speaking to me day in, day out. Sometimes I wish it would stop. I hear voices a lot, and sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have a CAT scan. But then those voices will tell me things that, there's no way in hell I should be able to pick up on that I still do. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's anyway. We were laughing about that today. Me and Joe was like, maybe I should do this CAT scan. Maybe I got a tumor in my brain, and that's why I hear voices. And he's like, yeah, well, but that doesn't explain why they're telling you things that you shouldn't be able to know, and still, and then it's verified by the people that you're doing readings with. Okay. Sometimes I just think, oh, what's wrong with you, Emma? Anyway. Oh, I just wish I had a job that I could keep doing, even if I'm not feeling 100%. But when I'm feeling like 50-50, then, it's really hard for me to do sessions. So that's the annoying bit. Let's see. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. Know that Spirit uses other people's messages to get to you as well, because usually there's more people on here than I can channel for in an hour, maybe 2 hours. We'll see how I feel. But if you get those goosebumps, if you get that feeling like, I feel like they're talking about me, or you get that feeling like, I wonder if that's for me too. If you get any of that, then yes, it is for you. Spirit will give you nudges, feelings, thoughts, ideas to get your attention, to say, hey, pay attention. This is for you as well. This message is exactly what you need to hear at this time as well. I'm going to put my little light a little closer. Can you even see me very well? Too much light in the background. Maybe, hold on. Let me see if I can close this a little bit more. Wow, that helps a little bit. Okay. All right. So if you do get any of that, just know that message will be for you as well. And I just randomly go over the names and see whichever name kind of highlights is what I go with, because then I have this feeling like, okay, that's somebody that needs a card at this time. Kevin B. Let's get your cards. What are you writing? Something strange. Dog was acting strange and then became scared. Maybe somebody was passing by and saying hello. Let's see. Which one? This one. Okay. Now I have several cards. So I also see which cards kind of glow. They kind of jump out of the screen. I'm kind of weird, but it's almost like when I look through my eyes, I feel like I'm looking at through a TV screen because this body isn't me. So I'm somewhere looking through these eyes, right? So this, I don't know, I'm weird, okay? So I always feel like when I'm looking at the cards, when I'm looking at your names, like I'm looking through a lens that isn't me, and just things highlight, like pop up like a TV screen, like they're doing, special effects on the TV screen. That's kind of what it looks like. Anyway, Kevin, this is your card. Rediscover your zeal, whatever that means. Pay attention to the passion you are feeling for discovery, learning, exploration, spirituality, travel, your work, or your relationship. Passion and desire go together, especially as inspiration. All right, what am I getting for you intuitively? I am being drawn to this kind of weird looking fish, which is kind of devilishly red. So when it comes to the spirit in your home, it feels to me like this is a spirit that just passed through. This is not a spirit that's lingering on, it's a spirit that passed through. But although you focus on the fearful aspect of it, it was not a great spirit, but it's not one that's going to harm you. Um, but you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the fear aspect of it instead of focusing on, whoa, we just had a spirit come through our house. Instead of focusing on the fact that you picked up on it, that you picked up on the fact that your dog saw it. It's about acknowledgement. It's almost like this is kind of like a pre thing for what's to come, because the more you move into a fifth dimensional reality, the more this is going to become normal day-to-day activity. Spirits don't always get stuck in your house. Sometimes they just pass through. Okay. And what you might have not been picking up on that before, but because you're moving vibrationally, you're starting to pick up on it, and you're starting to, your dog was doing that from time to time, but you didn't always pick up on it, or you weren't present for it. And it's like right now, what you need to focus on more is, wow, we picked up on it. We noticed it. We felt a difference. We noticed what the dog was doing. You're being much more mindful than you used to be. Okay, you used to be very much into the drag of, I got to get this done. I got to get that done. I got to do a job. Into the brainwashed living method of societal structure. While now you're far more present in the now moment. You're far more present with everything that's happening around you, and therefore you're going to notice these kind of things much more intensely than you did before. Okay, so is this a spirit that yes, was it a lower vibrational one? Yeah, it wasn't a great one, but it wasn't a really bad one either. But he just passed through. I keep seeing this fish just kind of go, and he's red because he's a little bit of, he's red and yellow. So it's like a little bit of good and a little bit of bad. Okay. But what's more important is that you acknowledge that you picked it up, that you acknowledge that your dog also picked it up. So the energy within the family household is elevated, and so you're going to pick things up more and more that are spiritually connected. Does that kind of make sense? So don't see it as a bad thing. Do not let it scare you, but see it as a positive thing. It means that you're more and more connected to what's going on around you energetically, and you're starting to notice it. Okay. I hope that helps. Let's see. Brenda Jacoby, am I saying that right? Jacoby. Brenda from Portland. Brenda. Now it's fast. I choose to learn through love. It's all about passion, is what they're telling me. It's all about passion, Brenda. When it comes to career, it's really important that you really start to follow not how much, a job makes, or how, how would I say it? You have to learn. It's like right now is the time where you have to find or follow a career path that brings you joy, that brings you abundance on an emotional level, on a mental level, on an energetic level, because all of that will lead to more abundance. A lot of people are still choosing careers according to how much money it makes, because they think that if I make more money, then that I can use that money to make happiness happen. And unfortunately, it never works out that way. So it's really important that you seek within your heart and you do something that you're passionate about, something you've always wanted to do, something you've always been good at naturally. And if you don't know what that is, go back into your childhood. What did you used to love doing as a kid? Did you draw a lot? Did you play store a lot? What was it exactly that really always caught your attention and made you feel joyful? Was it playing Legos and building things? We can find a lot of the answers of what we enjoy doing when we go back to our childhood. Okay, what were the things that brought us joy? Was it drawing and painting and all that? Well, then you're more of a creative person, and that's the direction you should move into. Was it more like playing store and playing with money and Monopoly and all of that? Then, going into a business might be good for you. Whatever it may be, is it taking care of the babies, playing with cars, whatever it may be, there's hints in our childhood that, because at a certain level, our spirit knew what it wanted to do as a career in a future tense. And so in some way or form, as a child, we would act that out. Okay. So if you don't know what your passion is, you can find it through that. But the time it's almost like you've done several jobs already, but none of them ever gave you a sense of, oh my God, I get excited every day to go to work, and I love this and I love that. And, just to be completely worry-free about, about the job, because you love it so much and you're so passionate about it. So choose love above all else when choosing a job. And if you do that, then the abundance and the financial abundance will also flow from that. Okay. That's what Spirit wants you to know at the time. Oracle Eyes, thank you for the donation. Thank you. You have the desire lately to transition. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see what I'm getting. This one. Oracle Eyes. For some reason, I feel like you need to give yourself a new challenge. Like a new something new to master. Let's see what flew out here. Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you can see it. My camera never wants to zoom in. So, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. And then heart of source. All encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity. Ha! They're talking about an end of a cycle, and I do feel that, but it's almost like you've mastered what you're doing, and your soul wants to expand, wants to grow, and it just feels like it says energetic shift. It just feels to me like the transitioning that your soul is craving is to expand its connection with the with all that is on a different level. It's almost like you've reached the ceiling of what you're doing now and the way that you're doing it. But it's almost like there's something that excites you, but you need to be willing to invest time and energy into mastering something new, because you're a soul that craves new experiences. You're a soul that, you're not, it's like you've been going on the same roller coaster for so long. You're kind of like, had it. It's time for a new ride. Does that kind of make sense? So it just feels like the transitioning that you're talking about is really your soul that's ready for a new challenge, a new way of expressing itself. And so really, the advice that I'm getting is really kind of go into try different things, experiment with different modalities of communication and connection and spiritual expression. And the one that really, the one that you're supposed to go into, or the one that you'll just know, it just feels like you're going to do it and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I want to continue doing this. Just feels like you're transforming into something new, if that makes sense. Okay. You're transitioning. Your soul wants to transition into a new activity that really kind of gives you a feeling of new hope, new excitement, new passion, but also a new challenge, where you're no longer the master, but you're the student, and you slowly but surely will work towards that. Okay, so move in and experiment. That's the message that I'm getting for you. All right, very important, very important. Okay. Michelle Doucette. Michelle Doucette. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Michelle Doucette. This one. You're welcome. Challenge yourself, Oracle Eyes. Challenge yourself to a new adventure. Okay, Michelle, divination. Divination jumps out. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. Michelle, it's all about trusting oneself, okay? It's kind of like they're saying, look, you have all the tools that you need to receive and to understand the communication that's occurring, but what you're lacking is the trust within yourself. You still feel like it's something that you need to learn and grow in and practice and practice and practice. But it's just who you are. You just need to remember that you are that. You are always connected. You are always communicating. You just need to switch that mentality of, I need to learn and I need to grow at this and I need to get better at it, to I am already a master. I have just forgotten how to connect to it. And all I need to do is remember and acknowledge that I am already a master at communication. Okay, because all of the answers that you're seeking, you have already received, but you need to trust and acknowledge them. You need to express gratitude. And even if you're receiving bits and pieces and it doesn't make sense to you, still acknowledge that you've received the answers. And then all the puzzle pieces will start falling together when it's the right time for you to get the complete answer. Okay, so it's all about trust, 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 Michelle. You know all of the answers to all of the questions that you have. Just trust within the already mastered skill that you possess when it comes to receiving help, aid, and assistance from the higher collective. If that makes sense. Thank you, Kevin. Love you, honey. All right, Donna, let's get you a card, my love. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Ooh, Donna. Ooh, Donna. I had a girl, and Donna was her name. Who loves La Bamba? Me. This is one of the movies I still have to buy. I can't find it anywhere here. I've always liked that movie for some reason. I don't know why. There's something about that movie and that actor. I think as a girl, I had a little crush on him. Young Guns and all that. Yeah, look, I'm still blushing. He has this, I don't know if he's Native American, but he has this kind of Native American look. And for some reason, ever since I was a child, I have been obsessed with Native Americans. And Spirit told me that I have a lot of lifetimes as a Native American, and I miss my family. I miss kind of that way of life back then. And that's why every time I see a Native American, I'm like, you got me, I'm staying. I've met several ones, and I've went to powwows, and I love it. It almost feels like I'm home, you know. Something magical that happens there, I'm telling you. Anyway. Ooh, Donna, we got 2. Let's see. Look at that. Leadership, answer the call. That's your first one. And then we have conquering fear, start today. There we go. There's your cards, Donna. Let's see. The thing is, it's almost like they're saying, look, you've always kind of been in the background. Every time you've done something, you've been in the background. Every career you might have done, in some way or form, there was always somebody bigger and higher than you, and you were always in the background. And it's almost like they're saying the time has come for you to step forward, to be that person that is the most important, to stop being in people's shadows. And it's nothing negative, okay? There's nothing negative with what you've done as jobs and all of that, but it's almost like in some way or form, unconsciously, you've always felt more comfortable when somebody else was taking the lead, and you would do your job perfectly well and very capable, but There was always somebody to follow. And they're kind of saying it's time that you become the leader now, and that your loved ones and the people that you work with maybe become your followers. Does that kind of make sense? In other words, the time has come to become the teacher and to no longer be the student trying to listen to the teacher. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to say? So it's like the angels are helping you. Look, they're lifting her up. I know. Let me see if you can see it. It's like, to me, this is what I'm seeing. They're lifting her up and they're saying, look, now you take your step. Okay, now it's like they're putting you on a pedestal and they're like, you need to be on the pedestal now. The time has come for you to become the leader. And they are helping you do that. Your angels are with you. Your angels are very important in this process. Okay. And you've got the key. You see how this figure has the key and is moving up the stairs here? You see that? He's got the key. He's going to go up the stairs, up, up, up. Ugh, it's going backwards. Up, up, up. And then you're going to have the key to the door and you're going to be on top. Does that kind of make sense? So allow the angels to help you take that step. They're flying you up and putting you way high where you belong in the spotlight. Okay. Feel that about yourself. Okay. It's time for you to shine. It's time for you to become the light that other people will now follow. Instead of you following their light, the roles are being reversed, and it's time to embrace that. Okay. I hope that helps, but that's what I'm getting. All right. Let's see. April. Canine April. April. Let's see. Which one? This one. Hope that helps. Sometimes, it's time to take the wheel, time to take over, time to be the leader. Happens a lot in a lifetime of a human. Either you have leaders and then eventually they get to a phase in their life where they have to surrender and give up their power and feel the opposite. And then you have people who have always been in some way for followers, which is not a negative thing. Okay. It's an experience to be had. And then eventually they have to get to a point where they have to become the teacher. They have to stop being the student and become the teachers, become the leaders, or they have to step up. So it just feels like the word that's coming to my head is a role reversal. Role reversal, whatever that may mean to you. A role reversal. Okay. April. Moon energy. Moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. You're in this, I feel like you're in this renewal phase, transformation. You're getting your wings for some reason. That's what it's like. You've gone through the cocoon phase, and then you've gone to building your wings, and now you have to fly out. It's almost like now that everything is moving in a direction that is more aligned with who you are, don't be afraid to start flapping them. Don't be afraid to think bigger and to think further. For some reason, distance. I don't know if that means anything to you, but there's something about distance. Don't be afraid to expand maybe your I don't want to say location. It's almost like sometimes when we have a job, we want to expand and operate on a more larger scale, maybe. I don't know if that makes any sense. But it just feels like you're still in some way or form holding on to the limiting idea of yourself from before, although you've already transformed. It's almost like let go of that limiting idea of yourself and know that you can spread your wings now. You can use them and become more than you ever thought possible. Just trust it's natural. It's a natural expansion of the transformation that you've been going through. But you're still holding on to some fear. It just doesn't match. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I'm probably babbling again, but the fear you're holding on to, just look at it this way. It starts with a caterpillar, right? And that caterpillar is scared of falling because he doesn't have any wings, and he's scared of this, and he's scared of being eaten, and he's, a lot of fears going on. And then he goes into his cocoon, and that's a very painful stage. A lot of people think, oh, it's so peaceful. No, it's not. Actually, it's a very painful stage. That's when we start to transform. That's when we do all the work. That's when we do all the releasing and all of that. And then eventually you get to become transformed, and your energy is much bigger, much larger, and much more freer. But that caterpillar still thinks he's a caterpillar, although he's got wings now, and he can go wherever he wants and fly away from his predators instead of just being stuck, not being able to run because he's got no legs. Does that kind of make sense? So at some point, the caterpillar has to realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm no longer who I used to be. I'm somebody else now, and I have new abilities, and I'm much more faster and stronger and more beautiful and all of that. That's kind of what they're saying. You have been transformed. You are recreating yourself, and you've gone into new adventures and so on and so forth. But to some degree, you still think of yourself like you used to. It's time to let that old identification go, that old persona go, and to embrace the new persona that you've become. Okay? Hopefully that makes some sense, because sometimes I feel like I have no idea if that makes any sense. I tend to repeat a lot of things in different ways, but that's just because I'm dyslexic, and that's how dyslexic people, we never know if you truly understand what we're saying, so we will say it in different ways, and then hopefully that helps. Okay. There we go. All right. Who else are we seeing here? Let's see. Lady Madonna. Lady Madonna. Career, business direction. I'm at a loss. Okay. I'll see what I can get. Which one? This one. Okay. We're going for the golden cards. All right. Sarah, is there a way for life to get better? Yes, you have to let go of the old ideas and create new ones in your head. You're the creator of your outside reality, of how you feel about it, what you attract, what you align with. So anything can change. You need to let go of the false belief that you are stuck under the ideas of a societal prison. As long as you believe that the outside world has power over you, you will always be imprisoned, and you will never be able to become the manifester that you're meant to be. It's really, really important to realize that you are not a prisoner here. We are constantly switching parallel realities now. Why? because people are starting to realize that they can't hurt me, and all their threatening and you're going to get a fine and you're going to go to jail and we can kill you if we want to. If you go, if you believe that, then that's what you'll attract. But if you reject that and you realize that everything outside of me is a reflection of what's going on inside of me, then you can realign with new parallel versions of the same earth where everything is much more aligned with what you want this world to be. So you're in control, and that cannot just be a belief. It has to become you. That truth has to become everything that is you. You have to live it, breathe it, smell it. See, there was a huge IT outage there, and nothing ever affects me because in my reality, I'm in a good place. Everything's all right. I tried to hold on to that feeling that this is my reality. Nobody else has control over it but me. And it works. It's all on the inside, yes. The outside reality is a reflection. It's a virtual reality. But are we in a good parallel reality? That depends where you are. See, right now, you and me are communicating with each other, but that doesn't mean that we're in the same parallel reality. That's what people don't understand. We can still communicate with people from different realities while having our own reality. Every single human is creating their own reality, and you can base it on the creation of a collective source. I know it's complex, okay? Look, and I wish I had better words to explain it. And I have so much knowledge inside of me that I can't even explain because there's just not words in our vocabulary to explain what I know. But we're living in an infinite reality. And when we choose an incarnation, a physical incarnation is a virtual reality. You're not really here. You're having a video game experience. And the game is your game. And it responds. What you see out there, what is being projected. Just imagine a little projector come out of your head. What you're projecting outside of you is complete. It's completely connected to how you feel about things and what you believe. Now, there are certain rules we can't change when it comes to a physical reality, okay? Because certain rules are set in place to be able to have a physical reality. Like the law, like gravity on this earth, you can't fly whenever you feel like it, even if you believe in it, okay? That is kind of an all source creation, okay? This physical virtual reality is created to such a degree that we can have the illusion of physicality, but it is just an illusion. There's no solidness in anything we have here. It's just a bunch of molecules bouncing around in empty space, okay? It's always moving. This table here is not really solid. It's not steady. It's actually energy in motion, okay? And so you have parallel realities, infinite amount of parallel realities. And these are all possibilities, but with different frequency changes, okay? And you have access to all of them. But you have to turn your radio knob, your internal radio knob, to match that frequency of that reality that you wish to experience. And it's all the same earth, but it's the same earth where other decisions were made. Okay? Am I making any sense? It's so hard to explain the complexity of a multiverse. And so, although you have access to collective creation that's out there, You don't need to use it as a tool to create your world. We're choosing to use it. Okay? But we all have the free will to decide. That I don't agree with. That, just to give you an example, when the whole pandemic thing happened, everywhere was, here in France, we were restricted. We couldn't go anywhere. We were not allowed. You needed permission. And what else they all came up with. I was like, not my reality. I go wherever I please. Okay. We were not allowed to go more than 10 kilometers away from our home. I drove 696 kilometers to my mom, back and forth, probably 20 times in that whole, you can't go anywhere. In my reality, I was good to go. In my reality, none of that shit was, applied to me. This is my world. I have the right to go wherever I choose to go. Okay? Guess what? I never saw one police officer. And I had to do 8 hours of route there, back, 20 times. Not once did I get stopped. Not once was there a checkup. They were like, oh my God, the borders are closed. You can't cross without showing your credentials. There was nobody at the borders. Why? Because in my reality, I was like, I am not participating in that. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Although we can observe what's going on in the collective, it does not need to become your reality. You create your reality. But you have to be fearless in it. And you have to know that you're the creator. There can't be any doubt, zero doubt. You just have to know it, live it, and breathe it. And then we can have the reality we want, even though we can observe the outside reality doing something else. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So in other words, yes, there is a kind of a collective direction, but then those change in the different dimensions as well. So the IT outage was the 3D world that will continue to be a mess, and it will continue to be a fucked up place to be if you choose to remain there. But I've chosen to move into a 5D world, and I can still observe through media and internet what's going on in the 3D world. But I choose not to participate in that world anymore. It's not my reality anymore. I'm just choosing to observe it as a neutral observer, as if I'm watching a movie that has nothing to do with my life. And that way, you start to slowly but surely, you start to align with a new version of Earth that is more reflective of your inner vibration. You started to dial the knob. So what's really important to create your reality is choose your emotions wisely. Emotions are energy in motion. They are what drives your future creation. They are what drives what you align with. People think it's the thoughts. It's not. Thoughts are just there to help you visualize something so you can stir up an emotion that brings excitement, that brings joy. Visualization does nothing for the creation and the attraction of your future life. The emotions, the heart chakra, the heart center, how we feel about things is what creates. This is just a tool to spark an emotional response for something you want to experience that you cannot yet experience today. And when you can hold on to that excitement and that joy and that, yes, I'm living in a good place, I'm living in a healthy place, then slowly but surely you'll notice that things will shift. With each morning, you can wake up in a reality closer and even more closer and even more closer to the world you know you are in, even if you cannot yet see that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense a little bit? So, yes, there's collective creations, but every individual chooses freely whether they participate in that or whether they choose to redesign it in a way that they feel more comfortable with. But you need to get your power. You can't feel victimized. The moment you feel victimized by some outside source, you've given up all your power. And you will just get what you feel victimized about. You're just going to get more of that. Are we partly in the 5D then? It is possible. Some people are, some people aren't. It really depends from person to person. Every individual is on their personal journey. Even if we have families, Gerald, my husband, is on his own creation. And there's different Geralds and the different parallel realities. We never know if we're going together or if I'm going to meet a Gerald that was in a different reality. Either way, it's the same soul, same person, but that's the thing. Humans, they get so attached to everybody and everything they have. But what they don't realize is from time to time they switch. Their feelings change, and sometimes you have really good times in life or you feel really excited, and then you move into a parallel reality that matches that. And the people around you might actually be different versions of that same soul, and you don't even realize it. I always think of it as your soul. This is what's happening right now. You're not really here. Okay. This is just a projection. Your soul, the real you, the only truthful you, is in heaven right now, in a higher vibrational dimension. And heaven is not one place. It is an infinite amount of dimensions and levels and frequencies that are very high. And you're always there. So when people say, oh, my dad died or my mom died, I miss him. Yes, I do miss my dad too, who passed away. I miss him here in the physical. But I know that every night when I go to sleep and we get into the deep sleep, we disconnect, our soul disconnects from the body so the body can rest. As long as the consciousness is connected to the body, it won't rest. And the body needs to recuperate at night. So this conscious mind disconnects. The soul energy disconnects temporarily, okay? When we go home, we take our little 4D goggles off. We hang out with all the people we think we've lost. And we remember everything again. And then when we go back, time to wake up. We go back. We get back into the kind of amnesia state. And we forget that we just hung out with everybody that's passed on, okay? So think of it as in the Avatar movie where the guy gets into a booth, he places his consciousness into a blue body, and then when he wakes up in that blue body, he can feel, everything feels very real. He has taste and smell, and he has feelings, and the body feels like it's part of him, and it's not, okay? Your soul is the one in the booth having a virtual reality, and the blue body, is this human vessel that you've picked, okay, that you've chosen, and that will evolve and die eventually. And then you just take your goggles off and go, woo, that was exciting, that's the reality. What you feel as being, and I'm sorry, I'm babbling probably, but what you feel as being real, we identify with. This is real. It's not. Nothing here is reality. It's just a projection. This body, this Emma body, that's not who I am. I am much bigger than that. We all are. We are massive beings, massive in energy and width and strength and power and knowledge. We have so much knowledge, but when we reduce ourselves and we choose this, okay, we're going to create this character, and I would love to have experiences that would kind of make me feel that and that, because I'm not familiar with that, because we know everything theoretically, but we can't really grow and expand and truly understand what we know until we have the experiences that go with it. Okay. And that's why we choose these incarnations. This for the soul is just like, what's that movie called? I always forget the name of it. Total Recall. You watch the Arnold movie, the Total Recall. You know, they implant memories and everything feels extremely real, and he went through it, and then turns out that it was just an experience. Wasn't real and all of that. Anyway, does that make any sense? And that's just, I feel like what I just said is just the tip of the iceberg. There's still so much that I feel and know, and I don't know how to explain it. So, but the moment you realize that this is not really you, and this reality is a game that you get to play and you're in charge, the moment you reclaim that power, because they taught you that you don't have any power. They taught you that you have to listen and obey, and you have to do everything that they say you need to do. And you chose to be born into that, but you also chose to be born right now, where the ascension on a collective scale is taking place. You chose this timeline, and I don't like, a lot of people are like, we're shifting timelines. No, we're not. We're shifting parallel realities. There's really no such thing as time. But in this specific, for lack of better word, time, this kind of phase in the human evolution of this virtual reality, you chose this to be here, to be a part of it, And so part of that journey that you wanted to have was to have the controlled aspect of yourself, and then to liberate yourself from it. That's what you chose. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to me, and who knows who else. It's about not taking things too seriously. Exactly. If somebody hates you, so what? If you lose your job, so what? I'll get another one. Okay? You have to just whatever. You have to always know that this universe is an expression of you. Therefore, there's nothing to fear. You can do anything you wish to do, but you have to believe that you can. Don't take life so seriously. Eric, my guide, always says this. Just say, fuck it. That's what Eric tells me. You just gotta see it for what it is. And sometimes I look at the 3D world and what's playing outside of me, and I go, am I watching a comedy movie? Sometimes I think I'm watching Hot Shots. You ever seen that movie? Where it becomes almost a parody of the old world. And sometimes I go through TikTok and I go, really? And I just laugh and laugh, because the world has gotten, it's becoming a parody, and that's what it is. It's just a movie to laugh with, and that doesn't mean, I'm in denial of what's going on, and I know people are suffering. I'm not laughing with that. I'm just saying it's become to a point where their need for control, and they're losing big time. They have no more control over the people. And it's just like everything they try is like, oh God, what else are they gonna discover now? What else they're gonna invent now? Oh, and you can already start predicting. People are already predicting what their next move is, and so they're lost because they've become predictable, and they can't control this anymore. Too many people have woken up, and so that's why the world now becomes kind of partially ridiculous. The truth is so eye-opening that everything else seems ridiculous. So the suffering will end. Well, it would never end. This is a world of duality, but it will change, and it will evolve to a point where the suffering is no longer caused by outside sources, but simply by individuals choosing to remain in that kind of victim state. It will change, and anyway, I'm going to stop talking. Anyways, I'll be here for another 5 hours. All right, who were we taking cards for? Lady Madonna. Sorry. Is 5D non-duality? No, it will always be duality. Okay, 5D is not everything is perfect. That's where you are already in the higher dimensional planes, in your heavens. Everything's perfect and everything is known, and not everything has been predicted already. You already know everything that's going to happen, that's going to come, and it's bleeding boring. Why do you think souls choose to have this kind of vacation that's called life? Because we don't know what's going to happen. We feel we're in control, and we are. We get to create something without it already being created. But duality is always going to exist on Earth. It's not going to be paradise. That you already have that. Every night you're home in paradise. You can't grow and learn aspects of yourself that you know, but you can't experience yet, unless you're in a world of duality where it can show you who you truly are by showing you what you're not. You understand? As long as you're in a physical reality, you're going to have duality. But as your soul self, your pure energetic self, there's no duality there. Whoop. There we go. This is for Lady Madonna. That's this. People want to believe 5D is the prayer to all their answers. No, it's you becoming responsible for your own creation instead of feeling victimized by other people's creations. And by being responsible and taking responsibility for your creations, your soul will also install things to grow from, things you didn't expect, because your soul wants to continue to expand. But it's not going to be the shit fest that we see in the 3D. It's going to be much more peaceful, much more respectful, and compassionate and loving. Lady Madonna, you got 2 cards. You want to go to heaven, then don't incarnate. Do you know what I'm saying? But your soul's always going to do that because it wants to get to know itself from a different angle. Okay? It's hard to get to truly know yourself if everything is perfect and everything is predicted. It's in the unpredictability that we learn and grow the most. We gain the most knowledge about who we truly are. Okay? Wake up call, listen and take note. And then ancestors, appreciation and healing. Let's see. Sometimes boring is nice. Yeah, but you do that every day in heaven. Your soul is kind of over it. I know that's hard to understand when all you can remember is this. But just see it as an adventure. That's all it is. It's a virtual reality adventure. And you get to do whatever you want with it. And it's all good, whether you choose to be the victim or not. Either way, your soul is going to get something out of that experience. Lady Madonna. I don't know what you do for a living career-wise, but for some reason, they keep showing me that you're a caregiver. Okay, you're meant to take care of people. You're meant to guide people, heal people. It's like you know that. Some way or form, that knowledge is present in you, but you've always suppressed it because you can't wrap your head around how to do that. for some reason the word companion comes into my head. It's almost like you or your soul wants to become a companion to people. For example, elderly people who have no more family, or their family lives very far away and they can't come every week, where you can offer your services to take those people to get some coffee, to go to a movie, to go shopping, to whatever, but to feel like they're still human beings. They're not locked up in an institution, where they can still go and have fun and have a friend to talk to. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's almost like more and more people in the future will be offering that kind of service, where you can help them even if they're, they can't walk very well. You can help them with their wheelchair and so on and so forth. You're as kind of a caregiver companion, you can create your own business, make your own rules, because it feels to me like you really want to be your own boss and live life according to your own rhythm, your own schedule, because you're kind of sick and tired of being told what to do, and you're sick and tired of having to function and create your life according to somebody else's schedule. You really want to become an independent, but you want to help and provide compassion and love and care and healing. People, when it comes to the 3D world, when we think of healing people, we only think of the physical, healing the physical. But more and more, as we're moving into 5D, there's going to be caregivers, people offering their service of companionship, of even handicapped people who might have a hard time making friends, of becoming, somebody that they can hire to take him to an amusement park, or take him places, or just come and spend a time in the garden and talk and be a friend, whatever it may be. It's nothing sexual or anything like that, okay? But it's about making people feel compassion and making feel like they're not alone, that they're loved, that they matter, that you are willing, to spend time with them. And yes, there's an exchange of money there to be had. There's an exchange of energy. But families, for example, can hire you to take their grandmother out once a week and just have fun, because, for example, the family lives in a different state and they can only come and visit her maybe once every 6 months. Who knows? Does that kind of make sense? To offer service of companionship and just being there for people. Does that kind of make sense? But it's almost like you've already felt that somehow within, but you couldn't wrap your head around it. You're meant to do something big, and that kind of service is going to grow exponentially in the future, because so many people feel alone, feel like nobody cares about them, feel like they have no family. And although this is a service that's being offered, it will improve not only the physical health of people, because when people feel loved, when people feel like they matter, when people feel like, there's somebody there to listen to them, to have a conversation and a coffee with, to invite over for pie, when people feel like they are part of somebody else's life, it improves their health immensely on all levels, energetic wise, mental wise, physically wise. Does that kind of make sense? And so that's something to maybe look into and start creating. There's already people out there doing that in the world, but you have to kind of find them to maybe see if you can get some examples or how to go about. There are people already doing that, and that's going to become more and more important as collectively one person at a time is going to move into a fifth dimensional plane where compassion and love will be much more in the foreground than all of the fear mongering and everything else. Okay, I hope that helps. All right, let's see here. Heather. All right, Heather. Looks like Heather's having kind of an awful time everywhere. Problems with bosses, problems with family. Which one? This one. Okay. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Susan. Hey, Verla. You're welcome. Whoopa. Well, that one flew. Hold on. That one flew all over. Heather, I am the loving energy of the universe. Heather, I am the loving energy of the universe. They're saying you're focusing too much on everything that's going wrong, and you're not focusing on the things that you can be grateful for, the things you want, and the things you will be creating. Does that make sense? You're in control. You're too absorbed by the victimization that you feel that has been placed upon you by others. But you're not a victim. You're just choosing experiences that's going to help you realize your power, that are going to help you realize that you're not a victim. Okay? So choose to look at it through different goggles. So look at your experiences with a different perspective and a different feel. The universe loves you, but the universe is offering you an opportunity to make a choice. Choose you in the equation, okay? Don't choose to be the victim. Don't choose to don't choose to give your power away to other people. They have no power over how you choose to feel today. Even if things is all chaotic around you, we can still choose to be peaceful inside. We can still choose to look at it and go, just an experience. I can make different choices. If there's problems here, I can look for a different job. Maybe I'm being pushed in a different direction. Maybe the universe is telling us that this job isn't meant for you, that you're meant to do greater things. You're meant to do things that truly inspire you and lift you up. Okay. If there's problems with family, maybe it's time to cut some cords. Maybe it's time to move into a vibration where we let, when we move up into vibration, a lot of times certain people will fall away because they can't meet us there in the same vibration. They're choosing not to move in that vibration. You can't allow other people and how other people will react to you and your choices to influence your choices. Okay. When we make choices in life, they have to be because they match your desire, your frequency, what you want for your life. Okay. Even if other people feel hurt about your choices, that's on them. That's their responsibility. They don't have to feel hurt. Everybody has the free will to create the reality according to their own desire, as long as you don't have the intention to hurt people as well. Okay. If the intention is, I feel like I need to move in a different direction, I feel like I'm moving in a higher vibration, and if they can't meet me there, I will always love them and I will wish them the best, but I have to do what's right for me. We can't allow other people to dictate what kind of reality we choose to have. Okay. This is an individual reality that you need to create. And just know that even though in our lives, and I've had many people come and go, we attract people in our lives. We install people in our lives because they're there to teach us something, and they are there to learn something from us as well. It's a mutual exchange of experiences that both souls want to have. But at a certain point, it is possible that those experiences have been learned, have been had, and there's nothing left for us to teach each other anymore. And therefore, people fall away and make space for new teachers and new students to come in. Okay? So look at it from a different angle. Stop looking at it from the victim angle and start looking at it from the creator angle. Okay, you're in charge. You can make decisions to change everything that's going on around you and to move into a higher space of love, self-love, especially self-care, abundance, and peace and balance. And when we are more aligned with who we truly are, we are far more beneficial to the collective. We help the collective and the people around us much more intensely than when we're a victim, because then we can't help anything and we only add more negativity to the collective energies. Okay, so we're actually harming the energies much more if we feel victimized than if we are aligned with our most authentic, most powerful, divine self. Okay, so don't see it as being selfish by choosing you, by prioritizing you for a change, but see it as when I'm in at my peak, I can help and emit so much loving energy and so much light that it will affect people in a positive way much more intensely than what I am doing now. Okay, so it's not selfish, it actually helps everybody around you as well. All right, hope that helps. All right, let's see. Patty M. Thank you, Patty. All right. Patty, Patty, Patty. Now, for the people who are on my Patreon page, I have not been able to finish my Patreon post. I'm still feeling very tired this weekend, so I already got half channeled, but I had to stop because my connection was fading and I was feeling like, ugh. And I know I needed to gain some energy to do this live. So I will get that post to you hopefully by either Monday or Tuesday. Oh, Lord. Patty, action. Number 9, action, movement needed. I feel like it's actually what they're saying. It's almost like you need to get out more. I don't know if you're sitting down much or if you're not taking enough walks, but it's like it's time to kind of explore a little bit. You're staying too much in the same location. Your soul is urging to explore things, to discover things. I feel like your soul really wants to, I don't know if you travel a lot, but it just feels like she wants to see the world. But you're kind of it's like a habit animal and you like to stay close to what you're familiar with. But it's time for movement, definitely physical movement. You need to do a lot more walks in nature. You need to connect to the oceans, the seas, the beach. I just feel like you need to be more physically active, because when we're more physically active, it actually helps to elevate the frequency within the physical body. And that also helps with ascension symptoms, and it just kind of helps us to really ground us into our reality through grounding, through connecting with the earth in different places. For some reason, I keep seeing Stonehenge in my head. So I don't know if you're meant to go there or meant to visit that, but it's like you need to go visit to these powerful energetic places. It's almost like it can give you downloads that you otherwise don't have access to. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting. So you need to do much more physical activities, walking, swimming, whatever you need to do. Things that are not too heavy on your knees is what they're saying. I don't know if you have knee problems, but it's walking or swimming, which are kind of good for, don't hurt the knees. and go see the world. Go see the places that are energetically charged. Go see things that will help you kind of, it's almost like materialize your spiritual connection. Okay? So I hope that helps. Let's see. You're welcome, Heather. Okay. Susan Bradley. All right, my love. Oh, they're kind of going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so we need one of each. Fearless says, thank you for the card and explanation of last week at the Patreon. Yes, you're welcome, honey. Hopefully it resonated. Patty says, yes, Emma, you're right. I tend to stay home a lot, not a lot of movement. Yes, more walks, my love. Even if it's a walk around the block, you know, you need to be more active because your body is, it's almost like your mind is already in the 5D, but your body's still struggling to get there. Not enough circulation movement going on. Are Gerald and the girls feeling better too? Yes, they are. Ah, whoop. Almost fell to the ground again, Susan. Joy is the ultimate creator. And your second card reads, my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Oops. I feel like it's just validation of what was said, I think, in a past card reading. It's about just having fun in life. It's about not overthinking it and over analyzing everything and just kind of going with the flow, making the best out of every day, finding the joy in the small things, and really holding on to that feeling of joy and excitement when you do feel it, and try and bring it into the other things of that day that might not be so joyful. Okay, it's about holding on to the positive emotions when you think about all the things to be grateful for, and allowing those emotions to infuse and kind of infect those things that happen in life, in our daily life, that might not be so pleasant. Okay, so just kind of blend. You need to learn to hold on to certain emotions instead of being reactive without control. Does that kind of make sense? So it's all about controlling, learning to master your emotions, and choosing to bring that one emotion into kind of pushing out another emotion. Does that kind of make sense? Susan said, yes, I have been actively trying to do that. Good. Keep doing that. They're just acknowledging that that is the right way to go. All right. Hope that helps. Let's see. Amy. This one. Okay. Amy. There it goes. Venusian Galactic Council. Star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. There you go. This is for Amy. Amy McFarland. Amy. What am I getting for you? It sounds like feel like you're overwhelmed with life because you're in a state of resistance of who you're meant to. It's like you're not answering the call. You're resisting who your soul wants to be. And you have a lot of help. I just feel like these are light beings that are trying to help you and they're trying to guide you. The help is there, but you have to be willing to get out of your own way. You have to be willing to say, so what? Fuck it. You have to be willing to approach life in a different way in order to answer the call, because you can't receive the call until you stop being in a state of resistance. When we're in a state of resistance, that frequency in a way hinders and blocks any kind of information or clarity or guidance to even reach us. It's out there, it's being sent, but you can't hear it because you can't hear the phone ringing, because there's too much going on in your head that is in some way or form interfering with you receiving that call. Does that kind of make sense? So surrender, really practice surrendering to what is, finding trust that even though you might not have all the answers, and even though you have no clue where you're going, what direction, or what's coming towards you, trust that it's there to help you. Trust that it's there to support you and guide you. Okay, you really need to learn to trust the universe again, because you've kind of turned your back. It's almost like you've turned your back to the universe. Like you don't trust it anymore. It just feels like you don't even trust whether or not you believe this spiritual thing anymore. The world for you has become such a confusing place that it's rubbed off on what you believe about yourself and what you believe deep inside of yourself as well. It's just kind of affected everything. So you have to, it sounds like you have to reconnect to who you really are. You have to reconnect to the true Amy. Disconnect from the world outside of you and focus on the world inside of you. Because you're always taking care of everybody else. It's like you've lost the connection with yourself because you're trying to do damage control within everybody around you, and that's affecting you in a negative way. Does that make any sense? Because you're a giver. You're always giving. Always there to help, always there to advise. But it's like you're in this delicate phase where you have to do much more self-care and rebalancing oneself. And it's possible, Amy. I just hear Amy. I thought it was for you, but this is definitely for Amy. That's why I didn't say your last name at first, but then I saw you there, so I thought it was probably you, Amy. Either way, for the right Amy who's going to find this, who's feeling overwhelmed, surrender. Okay? Disconnect from the world outside of you. Surrender that everything is happening for you. Okay? You're not being punished. You're not being, you're not doing anything wrong, but you need to understand that you need to get out of your own way. Okay? And the only way to do that is to surrender. In a way, that surrendering is a different way of saying trust the universe is guiding you. Trust that you're moving, that every day, doesn't matter what you do, it is helping you in some way or form. It's about trust, and it's about allowing temporarily to kind of leave everything in the hands of your team, in the hands of the universe, because so you could get a break of trying to figure things out. Okay. If you can do that for some time, you will find your peace again. You will rebalance again. You will recharge again, and then you will have the answers that you need to move forward in a very positive way. Okay. Amy's like, I'm still listening, Joe. Well, I heard Amy, so for some reason your name popped up right after I heard Amy in my head, so I thought it was you. So maybe it's a different kind of Amy. All right, who else are we looking at here? Glowing light intuition. Glowing light intuition. I'm writing it down so I can then put it in the comment section who got a card. So if you ever want to re-find it, you can find it. We are moving in 7 days. Any card would be great. Worried about custody of my girls. Let's see. Don't worry about anything. Worry is such an worry actually does the exact opposite of what you want. Have faith, trust that everything will go according to your divine plan. Even if it's not what your human ego wants, it will be what the souls involved have agreed upon before coming into this reality. That's where your trust needs to be. Okay? Nothing happens uninvited. Understand that your girls also have their own plan, and so do you. And before you were born, you agreed on what was, the main big things in your life you were going to encounter together. So trust that everything's going to unfold the way it's meant to. Okay? When we try to control things, we actually create the opposite and can disrupt that which was supposed to happen. Okay? And trying to control things or fear things or worry about things is a lower vibration and always gives us the opposite of what we actually want. If we trust, then everything will unfold the way it's meant to without us boycotting or sabotaging ourselves. Does that make sense? This is what came out. I surrender to power greater than me. See? Trust that everything will be the way you guys had agreed upon. Okay? Isn't that funny how the card just validates that? My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal conditions. See, trust. When we worry, we attract a reality that is not aligned with what the original plan was. Okay? When we trust, we will receive what the original plan was. And whether that is positive or negative for you, either way, it's going to be positive, because it will be what all parties involved had agreed upon. Does that make sense? Okay. But we don't want to add more negativity to the creation, because then we can rewrite things that were originally planned to happen a certain way. With our fear, with our worry and our anxieties, we can completely undo a soul's agreement, and move in a different direction. And then that soul's agreement might still come to pass, but after a period of suffering and self-inflicted suffering. Does that kind of make sense? So eventually it always leads back to what was originally planned, but why create the suffering when it's not necessary, right? So trust, have faith, everything will be as it is intended to be. If you put everything there, then it will work out exactly how it's meant to work out. Okay? But either way, if you can do that, it feels very positive to me. The move, the job, the children, everything feels positive. So envision it, feel it, That's okay. The universe has got my back. I don't need to worry about it. Everything's going to work out as it should. Okay, have that confidence and that peace. If you have that, then abundance will flow from those vibrations. Okay, Natalia, hi, sweetheart. Natalia Kuzminova. Okay, let's get you a card, my love. You're welcome, sweetheart. This one. Either way, it feels positive. It's almost like a new beginning for you. I feel like a new story is being written. You're holding the pen. I feel like before somebody else was writing your story. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm feeling. It's almost like now you're holding the pen and writing it. You allowed other people to write your story before. Protect your dreams, Natalia. Protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. Natalia, it's almost like they're saying you still don't trust yourself with your dreams. You still don't trust yourself with your creative powers because on some level, you know that your mind still influences and plays tricks on what you truly want. It's like it's time to start aligning and trusting yourself with this responsibility of creation. You're unconsciously hindering yourself. It's like you booby trapping yourself. I keep seeing the Goonies and the booby traps in my head. It's like you set traps for yourself, and you're not doing that consciously, but you're doing it unconsciously. And the traps come from these moments where you collapse. You have these moments where I'm positive, and then you set yourself up for a trap, and then you completely collapse, and you're not sure on anything anymore, and everything falls to bits. And then you pick yourself back up, and you ask people advice, and then okay, that gives you a little bit more courage, and you start over again. It's time to really start aligning with the fact that you're the creator, and whatever you choose to dream up can become part of your reality. But you have to stop booby trapping your own reality with these insecurities that you allow in all the time. Insecurities that have been placed inside of your heart, inside of your mind, by parents, by past relationships, by past colleagues, and so on and so forth. You're still allowing other people to install fear, even people you have no more contact with. You're still allowing them to affect your energy and your thought processing from time to time. Okay, it's time to own your creation. It's time to become the master of your creation and the owner of your dreams. Okay, you need to really work on that one. Okay, let's see. Andy Nelson. Card for Andy. Hi, Sarah. Yes, we will send. Let's all send Sarah Lars some healing. Hello from Florida. Hi, Billy. Hi, Kelly Wood. Go back. Andy. Star being healing codes. Important information. Wounds are healed. Recharging. Okay, Andy. Have you been sick, Andy? It feels to me like physically you haven't been your normal self. I feel like you've been really kind of been struggling physically with energy. And it's almost like they're kind of saying it's okay. It is because you've gotten a massive download. Okay. And your body is recharging now. It's in a phase of recharging. The reason you haven't been feeling quite yourself is because this download was, in a way, kind of reprogramming your DNA. And when DNA is being reprogrammed, it literally eliminates and installs new aspects of yourself. And so the energetic soul has to kind of realign with all these new facets of yourself. And the fact that certain ones are missing now. And so that's very energetically draining for the body. And so the body can go ill or not feel good, or you can feel very, very tired because of that. And so right now you're in a phase of recharging. So it's very important that you be patient with yourself and your body, that you take really good care of it, that you really nourish it with kind and loving words, and that you acknowledge that it is, it's almost like restarting. It's kind of like a robot where they've, remember that movie with Robin Williams? What was that movie called? Bicentennial Man. Oh, I love that movie. It's kind of a long movie, but I really love the whole story of it, where, they have to keep installing new parts because he wants to become the best version of himself, right? And his ultimate goal is to become human, although he's a robot. But anyway, it's like because your soul wants to become the best version of itself, it has to kind of replace parts. And that's what's been happening through an energetic download, changing your energetic codes, which takes a lot out of the body and out of your energy. And so now you're in a recharging phase, which takes time. So really allow yourself the time to just kind of relax and just take care of yourself and focus on things that bring joy and high vibrational music and so on and so forth. Just allow yourself the time and your body the time to recharge and get familiar with this new DNA that is running within you now. Does that kind of make sense? I know it sounds all sci-fi, but that's what I'm getting. So hopefully that kind of helps. Excuse me. Let's see. Gray eyes and Tyler. The gray eyes and Tyler, if I'm saying that right. You just took on a new job and you want to know if you're going to be okay. If I'm just trying to find peace in your life. Well, we all are, but we all can find that peace if I think for me, the biggest lesson that I've learned so far is to let go of expectations and to just go with the flow. When we have no expectations, we can enjoy the now moments much more. And it's in the now moments that we find joy, because if our joy is dependent on what we will achieve in the future, then we're not finding our joy now. Does that kind of make sense? So you can send out, wouldn't it be great if I would have that or experience this? Send it out and then leave it up to the universe. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to figure out how to get there. The universe will guide you. If you stay present in the now and you let go of all of that, you're going to get much more clarity and much more clearer guidance that will guide you to where you need to go. You just need to have faith that once it sends out the request, it's already in the making. You just need to align with it now by aligning your emotional frequency with it. Okay. You can't, it's just a fact. You can't experience happiness and peace if it's dependent on something in a future timeline. You can't experience anything in the future. You can only experience here, today, right now. So bring that into the now moment, and then that will infuse your future experiences too. Okay. Goodbye. There it flew. Lilac, higher realms and magic. This is for Gray Eyes and Tyler. It kind of reminds me of Disneyland and, the castle up there and whatever. In order for you to have the outcome you desire, you already have to feel that outcome today. You cannot leave it up to grasp in some possibility. You already have to know today that it's the right choice for you, and you're going to have great experiences there. And again, if you want to attract something, if you want to manifest something, if you want to align with a certain desired experience, you already have to feel it today. You have to believe it first. You have to believe in the magic. You have to believe it before you conceive it. You have to. That's why, Albert Einstein always said imagination is more important than knowledge, because if you can imagine it now and tap into those feelings, how it will feel when everything is sorted out, when everything is comfortable, and, if you can already feel that today, then you've already created that for your future experience. If we worry about it today, then we're only boycotting that feeling tomorrow. What you want to experience in a future tense, you have to experience today on an emotional level. Only then can we bring that into our reality. So just know that you made the right choices. And either way, it's always the right choice. If you made the choice with your heart, with what feels right, it's always going to be the right choice. Even if the job, for example, doesn't work out the way you had originally envisioned it to work out, that doesn't mean it failed. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean that that was, a complete disaster. No. You needed to have that experience for some reason. That was just a stepping stone to something better. And then that will be a stepping stone to something better. You cannot see anything in life as a failure. Everything is an experience. You come here for the experience. So therefore, if it is an experience that you've had, it will be of benefit to your soul. It will lead to expansion of your soul. So either way, it's a win-win situation. Whether it's a happy experience for the human ego, or a sad one, or a traumatic one for the human ego, for the soul, an experience is an experience, and they're all equally valuable and all equally expansive. So either way, you win and you graduate at the end of the ride because you've had experiences. We can't look at life and things that in my personal life, I've had to experience with so many jobs, because I knew I was meant to do something big, but I couldn't figure it out what it was until, I started to meditate, and my guide started to really kind of go, hello, look at what you've done in all your jobs. You were giving everybody advice and telling everybody what you felt. You think you're just really good at guessing? I didn't even realize that I was channeling spirit at that time. I just thought I was really good at giving advice, But when I looked at every different job that I did, and I did a lot of jobs. I worked at a bakery. I worked at a video store. I worked at a movie theater. I worked in factories. I worked in stores. I did so many jobs trying to figure out but every job I did, I was like, nah, that's not really what I'm meant to do. No, that's not it. But I was even a wrangler in Colorado, in the national park, and so on. I've done so many different kinds of jobs. It's ridiculous. But does that mean that I failed at every job? No, I succeeded, because I got out of every job an understanding of something that I was good at, something I wasn't good at, something that I was like, that I like, that I didn't like. Every experience is a stepping stone to better understand yourself, and it's an adventure to meet people, meet teachers, become a teacher to people, and exchange energies and opportunities for expansion for all entities involved. Whether it's a good or a negative one, from the soul, it's always a positive. Okay? And whether you like people in this lifetime or you hate people in this lifetime, I can guarantee you that your souls up there in the higher vibrations are going, you're really pushing my buttons there, aren't you? You're doing good. I'm getting the experience I wanted to have. So know that in spirit form, you guys all love each other unconditionally, even if you hate each other's guts in this temporary experience. That's what I have to say. Does that kind of make sense of what I'm trying to say? Okay. You have to bring what you have to be confident, and you have to acknowledge that every experience is going to be a good one for your soul, every single one. And when you find that love and trust in that, then life becomes a lot more easier. You don't need to worry. So what? That didn't work out the way your ego intended. That's okay, as long as the soul knows what he or she is doing. That's what's more important, because that soul has intentions for this lifetime. The ego is just to create the illusion of being separate from everyone else, because you're not separate. We're all connected energetically. But the ego is the only purpose for the human ego is to create the illusion of separation. That is it. But the human ego has convinced itself that it is the only voice that matters. It's the creator, and it's not. Your soul energy is the creator. Your human ego just believes that it is. Okay? So trust the other aspect of you. Okay? Your soul is not going to allow anything to happen to you that is not in its benefit. Okay? And you have to trust that. There's two aspects of you, the human ego, and there's the spiritual you. You have to understand that you guys are working together to create something. So trust that aspect in heaven that's always present there, that knows more than the human ego does. Trust that aspect of you. Okay? You're not in this alone. There's another aspect of you that is helping, assisting, and through feelings, ideas, thoughts. Okay, not fearful ones. Those are human ego created. Okay, all the enlightened ones and all the ones that you feel like, oh, I feel like I really need to go there, or it's going to drive me crazy if I don't do that. That's your soul talking to you, saying, hey, let's move in that direction. Okay. So what if we feel a blockage from our higher selves? You can't. It's not possible. That's a belief system. Change the belief system. The only reason you feel a blockage is because you believe there is one, but there's not. You can't be disconnected from yourself. It's just not possible. So the only thing that's giving the illusion of disconnection is your belief system. So change the belief. John says, I always stay clear of the ego. Yeah, the ego is kind of a troublemaker. My ego is always very fearful, so I just tell it to piss off. For a very long time, my life was controlled by fear, because my family was very fearful, and so I came into a very fearful family, like generation after generation, fear. And my soul wanted to come here and go, nope, fuck that, not doing it. But it took me a while to get there, and I had to trust that aspect of myself that knows what it's doing, even if the human ego is like, what are you doing? You know, you just got to trust it. You got to put that ego out the door sometimes. Okay, you shut up now, okay? If it's only fear that comes out of your mouth, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to trust the other side of me who knows what it's doing, okay? Even if my human ego has no idea what I'm doing, the other one does. So it'll come to me. All right. There. Hope that helps. I'm going to do one more for the group, okay? See what Spirit has to say to all of you watching this today and tomorrow, and whenever you watch this video. And then I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget, if you want to buy your ticket to the event, I think there's only 2 more weeks left to buy the ticket. So, whoop. So do not wait too long. Orion activation, supernova, recreation, renewal, rebirth by light. Look at that. Bam. We're going through a portal. We're moving. We're moving through the different parallel realities, getting closer and closer to the higher vibrational state within the human physical self. Okay. Recreation. That's the thing. We have to look. All of us have been programmed into 3D to such a degree that we really don't truly understand who we are. We have all been brainwashed to forget who we are. And for most people now, they're waking up and they're noticing that, hey, wait a minute, none of this makes any sense. And that starts the kind of rebirthing. It starts the journey for truth and understanding of who am I really, and what is this universe around me, and what is this world all about, and is our history truly the history they've told us, or is it something else, and so on and so forth. So we're all going through a rebirthing process, and being born is a painful process. It's a process that is it can be long, it can take time. It is physically painful. It is mentally and emotionally painful at times. And that's okay. It's just part of the process. You know, I may seem very confident and I may seem like I know what I'm talking about. And to a degree, I do. My higher self knows exactly what she's talking about. But there's this other human ego that sometimes gets in the way. And then I have bad days. Or I crash and burn. And I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then Gerald is like, it's okay, honey. It's okay. You know, luckily I have a supporting husband who understands my crashes, because I have them too, where the energies just get too overwhelming and there's so much sadness. You know, when you're a channeler, you're constantly dealing with people who are grieving, people who are suicidal, people who are completely lost. And it can be overwhelming at times that there's so much pain and suffering happening. And then, you know, sometimes I do have my burnout, and but I always know that I'm going to be okay, even though I'm having a burnout. I used to get stuck in them for months, years. Now it usually takes about a day, maybe 2, and then I'm up and running again. Because I've learned to disconnect from that human ego part. I allow myself to feel it, because you do come here for the human experience, okay? A lot of people are trying to escape the human experience and become 100% in the spiritual realm. That's not why you came here, okay? You're like that in your natural state. You're always in the spiritual realm. You came here for the human experience. But what we're trying to accomplish is to have the balance between having one foot in the spiritual realm and having one foot in the human realm, and to be able to have the physical joys and experiences combined with the spiritual understanding and knowledge. That's what the ultimate goal is. But anyway, we're all ascending at some degree and at some point. Not everybody's there yet. Some people will choose to remain in the 3D, and that's okay too. If that's what their soul is choosing to do, and that is what their desire is, it is perfectly fine for them. But for most, there's an ascension that is desired to be taken place. And that rebirthing process is a messy one. And it doesn't matter how spiritually connected you are and how much people know, the human aspect, the human ego our emotionality or human emotionality will always create some kind of interference to a certain degree. And that's okay. We're not here to become emotionless. That's not the point. We're just here to become masters of our emotions. And that is an ongoing process of growth and learning and figuring yourself out and learning to know what your energy feels like, learning to know yourself to such a degree that you can predict how you're going to respond in certain situations, so you can then adjust it before it even happens, and so on and so forth. Anyway, what I'm saying is be patient with yourself. We're all going towards that gate, that new parallel dimension, that new dimensional plane of another parallel reality of this earth, where things will be different, and some things will remain the same, but the energy will be higher and lighter. Therefore, a lot of the negative things that are happening in the 3D simply can't take place there. But we'll always have the duality of the human ego and the spiritual self. We'll always have that kind of dynamics of creating experiences for ourselves that we can grow from. Otherwise, there's no point in remaining in the physical plane. That's the whole point of why we're here, right? Some people have this illusion that in the 5D, everything's going to be perfect. No, it's going to be better. This whole controlling thing will be eliminated. This whole brainwashing thing will be eliminated, but we'll still create things for ourselves that we can grow from and learn from and expand from. That's the whole point of coming to the physical realm. If that doesn't occur, then there's no point in coming. Okay? But just be patient with yourself. Be loving with yourself, okay? I don't have it all figured out either. Not as long as I'm in this physical form, I won't have it all figured out. Okay? I know a lot, but I don't have it all figured out. And sometimes, I was talking about that today with Gerald. I'm like, I am 43 years old. When I was 18, I figured by that time I'm 40, I'll have it all figured out. And the truth is, I have nothing figured out. I know a lot of things. I know that, I know our history is based on fake things and fake ideas. And I know the truth about our history. I know a lot of facts. But when it comes to my own personal journey, I have no idea what I'm doing half of the time. I just roll with it. And I don't know what's going to come for me in the future. I have no idea. My only intention that I send out daily is I want to feel good about myself, about my family, about my purpose. I want to attract abundance. I want to attract love and joy. And that's it. And however way or form that shows up, I'm leaving that to the universe. Okay? I'm leaving that. The universe will figure it out for me. I don't need to figure that out. All I need to figure out is what kind of emotional experiences do I want to have? How do I want my life to feel? What are the feelings that I want to go through? I want to feel like I'm helping. I want to feel like I'm making a difference. I want to feel like I'm inspiring people to be the best versions of themselves. I'm not here to indoctrinate people. I'm not here to tell people what to think, what to believe. I'm just here to share what I know to be true, and then allow people to freely choose what they do with that information, and allow it to inspire people in their own way. That's really what the only thing that I feel I'm here to do. I'm not here to convince anybody of what I'm saying to be true. That's up to you. If it resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, then leave it. Not everybody's here to have the same experience. That's just, and that's okay, because that's perfect for every soul. Anyway. I want to thank everybody for sending us a lot of healing and a lot of support. I had a lot of emails, people supporting us as we were sick. Know that we're still recovering. Know that I will do my very, very best. I have everybody on a list. to get slowly but surely people a new spot. Hopefully I can get everybody in still to this year. If not, it will have to wait till next year, unfortunately. But I can't overwhelm myself now because I'm still tired a lot. I still don't feel energetically 100%. And I don't want to overdo it and then kind of relapse. So that's what I'm trying to avoid at all cost. So be patient with me. And again, know that my live event is taking place on September 7th. So if you want to come join us here in France, go check out my website, emmanuellemcintosh.com, where you can find more information. I also have a messenger group for people who want to be part of it, where you for the event, where you can ask people for a car ride, or is there anybody who wants to share accommodations, or people helping people out. Okay. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to do a lot of different things. And I'm really excited about it. So I will let you guys go. You guys all have a great rest of your week, great rest of your day. And just know that love is always around you, and there's joy to be found and gratitude to be found in everything that you have. And focus on that. And then everything else will fall into place. Okay. All right. Big kiss. Mwah. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.